Hi, Dr. Patrick Kingset back here. I want to share with you my top 5 facts for improving self-motivation to help you to focus and work smarter, not faster. These strategies will assist you to maintain your motivation and follow through on your tasks and your goals and your work projects. Now, before we get moving, don't forget to like. If you do, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to touch the notifications icon, as this will let you know when I put out new videos on a variety of different psychological topics. Now, I've shared these facts with my clients in private practice, and the feedback is that it has boosted their motivation to achieve small, medium, and very challenging goals. The kind of goals I refer to are weight loss, fitness, assertiveness, getting work tasks completed, household tasks, you name it, and these strategies will assist you. Now, firstly, I want to talk a little bit about what motivation is, as it keeps us moving towards our desired destination and also the outcome. Motivation is the inner self-talk that urges us to keep going forward, when often we really want to do is just stop and do something else or nothing at all. Now, maybe you wake up feeling out of sorts and groggy and depressed or frustrated, and you don't think you can muster up the motivation to get anything done. Sound familiar? Now, there is no doubt it takes effort to get to where we want to be, and life tends to throw obstacles in our way, not to mention our own self-talk that gets in the way, such as, why bother? It's not going to work out anyways. It would be so much nicer to sit in that park right now and do nothing. When these sorts of self-talk statements are in our mind, it's easy to just give up and do something else. But what is important to understand, it is that this inner motivation, our self-talk, that is the main driver to getting things done rather than the external means. This is not to say that external rewards for self-motivation don't work, but rather that your own self-talk will usually be stronger. So let's get stuck into the top 5 self-motivation strategies you can start to put into practice right here, right now. Now, step 1 is accountable future focus. Basically, this strategy involves making a decision in the here and now that will hold you accountable to perform an action in the future, even when there are obstacles or challenges in your path. Now, this strategy involves anticipating that your self-motivation will falter at some point in the future and coming up with ideas to help you maintain your motivation. Now, this involves being clear on what you want to achieve or stop doing, writing down a deadline or an endpoint to getting it done, choosing a consequence if you do not follow through with it, and sometimes nominating a referee who can be your cheerleader in helping you achieve what you want to achieve. Now, basically, this strategy helps you to maintain your self-motivation when things get tough by locking in future behavior ahead of time. Now, the second strategy is visualization. Now, I'm sure you've heard of this idea of visualization before, right? Maybe it's something you think is, I don't know, like a little bit hippie, like something you would read about in a cheap self-help book or hear from a scammy motivational speaker. But visualizing to improve your self-motivation can be quite straightforward and also very effective. Visualization can supercharge your focus and help you to see yourself achieving your goal. The more specific and clear we are in our mental image of our goal and the benefits of achieving it, the more motivated we become to move towards it. For example, let's say you're wanting to increase your fitness level after a general checkup with your doctor. In scenario 1, the doctor tells you to start doing some physical exercise, and you think to yourself, well, maybe I should start walking to work. In scenario 2, the doctor tells you to start doing some physical exercise, and you imagined walking after work, feeling the sun on your face, breathing the fresh air, and having more energy as a result. And maybe you thought of the extra energy you would have to, like play with your children. Now, which scenario do you think will provide the greater self-motivation to increase your fitness? Well, I know it's pretty obvious. It's scenario B, as the visualization of the outcome and the benefits will keep you moving towards the goal. Now, it refers to all goals made as when we spend the time to paint the picture in our minds of not only doing the goal, but the benefits associated with achieving it. This is going to help us sustain our self-motivation. Now, you can also journal what you visualize so you have a written record of your goal and also the benefits of achieving it. Now, the third strategy is the Seinfeld Strategy. Now, most of us have watched at least one Seinfeld TV show, right? Now, if you haven't, seriously, you're really missing out. There is one episode in which Jerry gave some advice on how to stay motivated and consistent with something you want or need to do. The advice given is simple, but look, it's actually very effective. Jerry said to buy a large wall calendar with the entire year on that one page. Then he said to get a marker pen, and for each day you do some of your tasks, you put a big red cross through it. After a few days, you'll have a chain of crosses. Now, the idea is to keep the chain going. Don't break the chain, he says, and then repeats this phrase again. Now, I know it sounds simple, right? But actually, it's very good advice to maintain self-motivation, to do a little part of your task each day, and to see a visual display of the gains you're making. Don't break the chain. And the fourth strategy is power through procrastination. Now, I think we can all agree we have been derailed by this one. Procrastination. Maybe I'll start the house cleaning when I've baked that cake, or it's better to start that work project in the afternoon. The hardest part is always getting started. Most of us find that once we take the plunge and begin the task or project, we gain, some momentum, and things start progressing and flowing, and motivation just starts increasing. Sometimes it's about committing to doing the task, the project, for 10 minutes or 30 minutes, and then reassess how you feel. Often people find a flow of sorts in which you commit to doing the tasks, the project, and often you find yourself taking a break in 1 to 2 hours and thinking, where did the time go? And we look at what we've achieved. And sometimes it can be really helpful to accept that procrastination is part of life and trying not to fight against it, but rather work with it. Maybe it's allowing yourself 15 minutes to do anything you wish before you get stuck into your task or that project that you're trying to get going. But the important part is sticking to the 15 minutes only. It can be helpful to set an alarm to let you know when you need to start your task. And if you give yourself permission to procrastinate in small amounts of time and in a structured and deliberate way, you'll be less likely to end up procrastinating in major and chaotic ways. The fifth strategy is ditching the distraction. Now, distraction, it's a part of life for everyone, and in today's busy world, we're bombarded with distractions through social media. But it's not only external distractions we need to contend with, There's also those internal distractions. Worrying about a work meeting in the morning, dreaming of your next holiday, thinking of a grocery list, etc. Look, we all do it. One way you can combat that internal distraction is to keep a pad of paper near you, and when you're aware you've been distracted by a thought, write it down on the paper and then return to the task you're wanting to complete. Now, once you've completed your task, you can then review what is written down on the pad of paper and see if it needs rescheduling or how you need to address it. If you try to ignore the distracting thoughts by pushing them away, they will continue to pop up and get louder in terms of distraction. By writing your distracting thoughts down, you're acknowledging that you do become distracted from time to time, but you're still able to focus on the work at hand. Now, of course, it's helpful to move away from your mobile phone and, click out of Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, your emails, etc. during the time you're wanting to focus on completing something. And now, over to you. I want you to leave this video with a short practice, an exercise to increase your self-motivation. I'm going to ask you to work on a task or a project you want or need to do, but I'm only going to ask you to work on it for 5 minutes. I want you to keep in mind all the information you've heard in this video today and apply what you think might be helpful. And as we've already spoken about, getting started is often, it's like the hardest part. And after the 5 minutes, I want you to stop and assess if your motivation to continue has increased at all, even marginally. Now, it would be great to hear what your tips are and how you've gone with regards to increasing your self-motivation. Have you found one of the suggestions I talked about helpful? Let me know. Drop me a comment. Now, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you and feel your spirit in the next video. Bye for now.